Hello and welcome back to Suspended Foundation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, the Netflix animated movie, The Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf. Welcome, everybody. And I've just got one question for everybody here. Does anyone else have the song Ebony and Ivory stuck in their head? Is it just me? Well, now you do too. Before I get started, let me take care of some business here. I know that was an evil thing to do, but I really do have it stuck in my head. And the easiest way of getting rid of it is to pass it on to somebody else. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, you get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also have all the links to my social media, so Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, and the links to this YouTube channel page, my Facebook page. And for those of you who still have Facebook, a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right, so I'm going to do a spoiler-free version first of this, as much as possible. And then we'll go into the spoiler version, okay? So, do you need to be a fan of the Witcher series, video games, books, the Netflix live action series in order to get into this? Not really, but it helps, quite honestly. It's it does help in a way in the end, I should say, of this story, so you know who one of the characters is. But other than that, no, not really. But it does help, like I said. And essentially, this takes place in a time where, kind of like a medieval time, if you will. Not even medieval, but it's in, magic exists. Monsters exist, elves exist, witches exist, all that kind of stuff. And you have a group of people that are, they hunt monsters, is what they do. That's what the Witchers are. And they're kind of a mix of humans blended with magic a bit. Is what they are. And this story is about one Witcher in particular. Vesemir is his name. And you kind of go from his current adulthood, where he looks like he's in about his 30s, and then we bounce back to his early years as well. And so you kind of get an idea of how Witchers are made, and that is the crux of everything. The animation is actually really good. It's done by the same people who do Castlevania and the He-Man series, as somebody reminded me earlier on Facebook. And the story is actually pretty damn good, I have to admit. It says Nightmare of the Wolf, but there really is no wolf involved. It's kind of a misnomer in the title. I don't know why they have it called Nightmare of the Wolf. It's kind of a weird title, but anyway, all said, there's a love story that's involved in this, a little bit of a love story, some alchemy that's in there. There's monsters. There is betrayal. There is a deeper story, quite honestly, in this, and it's pretty good, pretty damn good. I have to say, yes, it is worth your time. Go and watch it. And if you're a fan of the Witcher series, definitely you're going to get more out of it too at the very end as well. So, with that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode, or the movie, I should say. If you have not seen the movie, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. Okay, got it? Yes. All right. So, that whole thing with Lady Zerbst being Ileana, at first I wasn't sure if that was the case, because the animation was off, and of course they changed voice actors and things like that. And then when they revealed that, I was like, okay, that's actually pretty good. The whole thing with Vesemir, I really liked Vesemir's character, by the way. I could watch an entire series of Vesemir training recruits, if you will, or training the children. And him being, you know, how should I say this? Kind of lured in by Daglin to become a Witcher himself is interesting the way they did this. The movie's not it's almost 2 hours long, but it's good. I mean, they did it didn't feel like 2 hours. I want to say it's 2 hours. I'm looking at it right now on IMDb. And yeah, oh, sorry, I take that back. It's an hour and 23 minutes long. It feels like it's longer because it's actually packed full of stuff. It's densely packed full of story. And it feels a lot long. I mean, it just has a lot of story to it, and that's what I liked about it. I mean, you kind of got a good buildup of characters. The whole thing with Kitsu, the blending of elf and monster, if you will, and at the beginning, Vesemir says that monsters can't talk, and of course, one of them does. And the noble child that he saves says, "Wait, you just said they can't talk," and he goes, "Well, obviously, this one does." you know um yeah, that was kind of interesting. They did a good job of that. And then of course the kicker, we get to see the destruction of the witchers and the mages, and what happened when you have witches working with humans turning on the witchers themselves. So yeah, it's kind of weird. You have witches, which are you know female witches is what you have against the witchers and the mages that made them, of course, to bring them down. So we actually got to see what Geralt had been talking about. He alluded to in the series of being around when the witchers were taken out, the mages were taken out that had created the witchers. And at the very end, there's 4 children that are left, and we find out that Geralt is one of them. And I kind of want to see more of this. I want to see this as a series, much like Castlevania was. I would be down for that. Quite honestly, they did a good job of it, and Vesemir is a good character. He did a great job. And yes, I agree with you, Mufino. There is a great cast in it too, a great voice cast. So we've got as Vesemir, Theo James; as Lady Zerps, you have Mary McDonnell. Laura Pulver, excuse me, as Tetra, Graham McTavish as Deglin. So yeah, you've got a good cast of characters here, and there's more people, of course, involved as well. And it's good. I mean, the animation's good, the story's good. The body horror of creating different creatures, different monsters, and the reasoning behind it, why Deglin did this, is good. I mean, you knew that's what it was going towards, and it didn't disappoint, quite honestly. Mercenary says it was pretty decent, but I'll have better idea on how to judge it once I see the source material. Okay. Mofinovi says, Dennis, I did watch most of Transformers. Not bad, a bit less transforming, but decent. Yeah. Yeah, it had more story to it than just, giant robots shooting each other up. Mork says Vesemir is King Poppy of the Watcher. Total badass. Yeah, I really did like Vesemir's fighting style, and I want to see more of that chain. I want to see Geralt using that chain at some point. I would like to see that, because that was actually pretty good. In the live action, I should say. I would like to see some of that. So yeah, decent writing, animation, story. I mean, the story was tight. There was no dull moments within the story at all. And like I said, they densely packed that story to the point where it feels like a longer movie. I didn't realize it was only an hour and 23 minutes long. It felt like a 2-hour movie. And I want more. And that's what you always want. You always want to leave your audience wanting more. So definitely check it out. It's worth your time. Especially given all the crap that's on Netflix anyway. You know, this is not one of them. This is not crap. So, what else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, funny you should ask. Tomorrow is going to be another episode of What If. That's right, episode 3 of What If. Thursday is going to be episode 5 of Titans. Titans, Mork's favorite show. Friday, I'm going to be off because there's a lull in programming right there. Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. Sunday, because there's some stuff that was going on, so I just wasn't able to get to it. Monday, I'll be off, of course. And then Tuesday rolls back around with another episode of It's Worth My Time. And this time I might do Reminiscence, the HBO Max movie that I threatened to do last week. And I'll probably do it next week. Yeah. There will be dick jokes, yes, during Titans, especially if it was as bad as episode 4. Yeah. Mork says, I can't wait for that. For What If. Titans is my absolute favorite show for dick jokes. Yeah. Oh no, the dick jokes. The dick jokes grew movie Finobi when Titans came out, and they just kept getting longer and longer and bigger and bigger. Just happens sometimes. Yeah. Yes, What If is really good. What If is really good, and I can't wait for the next episode. And also, I can't wait because I got a little surprise box showing up today in the mail, and hopefully my mailman gets here really fucking late, and he is supposed to be delivering my What If Funko box that has some surprises in it. So take a look over at the Facebook page. Actually, take a look at my Instagram page and my Facebook page. You'll see some photos of that stuff once I get it. So yeah. I haven't actually looked at the trailer for the next one, Movie Finobi. I like to be surprised when I watch it, so I haven't done a preview of it yet. Yeah. Although I did take a look at that Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, and Jesus Christ, that was good. That was a good trailer. Damn good trailer. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering what replaced the mug in the ears, that is Jackson right there from the old Marvel Comics Star Wars series. So back in the late 70s, early 80s, there was a Marvel comic book, Marvel Star Wars comic book, and they introduced this giant green rabbit that was kind of like Han Solo in a way. And his name is Jackson. He does have a last name too. I can't remember what it is at the moment, but they finally made a fucking action figure of Jackson, and I was able to buy one. So, yeah, Patreon's probably going to be dead, Morks. I'm probably going to go through. There's a whole thing with YouTube that they have something similar to it, and whenever I can finagle the workings of that, we'll see. Anyway, so with that, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos of my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media on there and the links to all my pages on there as well. All right. Yes, keep an eye on the schedule. Because Doom Patrol is coming up. Yeah, Doom Patrol is coming up. There's a lot of stuff coming up, man. There's just a lot of stuff coming up. All right, especially yeah, in September there's a lot of stuff coming up, I should say. Yes, the best mod is pen, definitely, by far. Thanks everybody. I will see you again tomorrow for What If. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up having to find out what it takes to become a Witcher, and you really don't want that because it's not a really good survival rate. It's actually pretty piss poor. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, and take care out there. Stay safe. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good night, and good night. Thanks, everyone.